Today we're ranking every single Clash card by how good they would be at Clash. This is a highly requested topic, so we're going to jump right into it. And if you have a tier list you would like me to make, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, and I just might make your tier list. So let's go over our tiers. First, we have esports ready. So these are going to be the people who can compete with Mohammed Light himself, the GOAT, okay? Then we have ultimate champion, solid players of the game, you know, some of the best in the world. Then we have 10K trophies. Okay, you have conquered the trophy road. You are at least a decent player, I would like to say. Lots of people say this is mid-ladder now, but I don't know. I think if you've made it to 10K, you're pretty good at the game. Then we have mid-ladder. We all know the mid-ladder chuds, okay? I don't need to explain this one. Then we have the free wins. If you're below like 8K trophies, bro, I farm you every day of the week. Then we have the poor souls trapped in Goblin Stadium, okay? So you don't want to be there, trust me. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First, we have Larry. We have Larry and the skeletons, okay? These guys don't have flesh. Therefore, they cannot operate a mobile touchscreen device. However, they could play on a mouse on a computer, which does mean that they can still play Clash. Now, you've got three guys, okay? So I think Larry and his gang could easily make it to 10K trophies, okay? You got one guy who plays, one guy who coaches, and one guy who's constantly analyzing the meta to feed the coach great information. I mean, they're almost the perfect team if you really think about it, right? Now, we have Barry, okay, the bomber. The bomber is not nearly as good because he's just one guy and he's got a bomb, and that doesn't really help you play Clash last time I checked. Now, I'm going to say that Larry's mid-ladder, okay? He probably can climb, but he's not getting to 10K trophies anytime soon. Next up, we have goblins. Okay, 4 guys, but I've heard that the goblins get dumber the longer they live, and these guys are looking kind of old. They're a little unk, if you ask me. So I'm going to say that they're probably mid-ladder. I could see 4 goblins all playing. I feel like they would probably fight over the phone and get in each other's way. I don't see them working together as a team very well. Spear gobs are probably going to be the same exact situation, okay? Next up, we have Zap. How is a Zap going to play Clash Royale? How? It's not possible, okay? It'll probably just fry the phone. And while we're covering Zap, we might as well cover Lightning, okay? Where is Lightning? Where is Lightning? Where is Lightning? Where is Lightning? There it is. Okay, so Lightning and Zap are absolutely going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium because the moment they try to play, they're going to fry the phone instantly, and it's going to be charred and broken and useless, and you're going to have to turn it in at one of those machines at a Walmart where you get like $5 for your broken phone. Okay, the Knight. The Knight is the GOAT of all things, and it would easily make it to Ultimate Champion, okay? He's dedicated, he's trustworthy, he's honest, he's the GOAT, he's got a mustache. I think he gets into Ultimate Champion pretty easily, okay? I think he'd be just fine. Now, I don't think Knights get paid a lot, probably, so will he have enough money to really buy his way in there? You know, you kind of have to have a max deck to get into Ultimate Champion, or at least close, right? You can't be rolling up into Ultimate Champion with level 13 cards unless you're like literally a god at the game. So I'm gonna put him in Ultimate Champion. I think he can probably afford it. Next up, we have archers. 2 people, better than one, I would say. You get the group dynamic. You can have a coach, you can have a player, you can have the dream team. Okay, easily 10K trophies, right? Easily 10K trophies. Ultimate Champion is a little bit of a stretch for the archers. Okay, I don't get the vibe that they're gonna take Clash that seriously. And I don't know, maybe you could argue Ultimate Champion, but I just don't think they'd be that good. Next up, we have the minions. The minions are the servants of mankind, and therefore they should be gods at Clash because we need them to farm every day for our chest. But I just don't see them being that good. I don't know how intelligent the minions really are. They do have fleshy little fingers, right? Little claws. So they should theoretically be able to use a phone. If not, they could use a computer. I'm going to say they're firmly in mid-ladder, okay? I think they'd be firmly mid-ladder. I think they can handle it. There's 3 of them. They have a pretty good chance, okay? Next up, we have arrows. I mean, who wants an arrow through their phone screen? It's just not going to work. You're staying trapped in Goblin Stadium. I'm sorry, arrows. The cannon. The cannon is sentient, right? And if we somehow configured a way for the cannon to use its mind to manipulate a device to be able to play Clash, I would think that it would probably be pretty good. But I don't know if that technology exists. So I think the cannon's going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium because it simply can't interact with a cellular device in a meaningful way, nor a computer. What's it going to do? Shoot a cannonball into the phone? Failure. Okay, Tesla Tower. Similar situation. I mean, arguably even worse because it's just going to zap the phone. Maybe not maybe not worse, okay? Maybe not worse. And same with Mortar, okay? The buildings are just not going to be very good at Clash. I think that's okay. You don't have to be good at everything in life, right? Your mom will still love you if you're not good at Clash, I promise. She'll probably love you more if you're not good at Clash, because that means you're doing stuff that's not playing Clash, and nobody should be playing Clash. Okay, Barbs. Barbs are a little rambunctious. I think Barbs make it to 10K trophies. They can pool money together to easily buy their way into 10K trophies, right? If you just spend enough money on this game, you can pay to win your way into 10K trophies pretty easily, I would say. And they have enough money. There's 5 of them. They can make that happen, okay? They don't even have to be good at the game. Same with the minions, okay? I don't know how much money minions have, but there's 5 of them. I find it very hard to believe that a group of 5 minions couldn't at least get into 10K, but Ultimate Champion is a bit of a stretch because I feel like once you get into the ranked ladder, you know, things get a little bit more like skill based. Next up, we have Tombstone. Now, I would say probably also 10K, okay? I feel like 10K is not that much of an accomplishment anymore. It's even though it's high on our tier list, you know, I feel like you have to be really good to really make it past 10K, and I don't see the group of skeletons being able to do that. So next up, we'll go with the Musketeer. Musketeer is easily going to be esports ready, I think. Okay, the Musketeer she's smart, she's well equipped, she's battle trained, she's got combat experience. I don't know, I just see her going in with the mindset of I can become the best in the world and getting pretty close. Okay, Musketeer makes sense. The Valkyrie. You know what? We're going to skip the Valkyrie for now and jump to the Hog Rider, okay? Hog Rider is rambunctious and always having a good time. The pig here is meaningless, okay? The hog doesn't help with playing Clash at all. We can all agree it would probably just eat the phone. Now, the Hog Rider, on the other hand, I think the Hog Rider is easily making it to Ultimate Champion, okay? I think he's probably one of the best in the game simply because of his attitude. I don't see him, you know, Clash is a game where it's really easy to get tilted out of your mind and want to do some horrible things to people, right? It really makes you want to do horrible things to other human beings. Now, with that said, I think the Hog has like an impervious mindset. He's always so cheery and happy. I don't see him ever getting tilted, so I think he makes it the Ultimate Champion. Valkyrie, I think the Valkyrie is firmly a 10K trophies player, okay? She's got the skill to grind up. She may be under-leveled in 10K trophies, but frankly, she doesn't strike me as being wealthy enough to buy her way past 10K trophies, so she's going to be stuck there grinding for an eternity just like me, okay? I feel like we share that bond, Valkyrie and I, that we're both stuck in 10K trophies grinding for an eternity. Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is a nature spirit. I don't think he has hands. He has armor. I don't know how well he can really like move and articulate a mouse, right, with your armor on. And on top of that, he doesn't really have, you know, fingers. So I don't know if he can really mouse or phone or what. Mid-ladder? I feel like the Mini P.E.K.K.A.'s mid-ladder, okay? I feel like he's a good guy. Actually, he's a free win, and I'm moving the goblins down to free win as well, okay? That's why it took me so long to think about the Mini P.E.K.K.A. I've reconsidered the goblins, okay? I think the goblins are free wins. I think they're goofballs. I think I farm them any day of the week. And frankly, I think I farm Mini P.E.K.K.A. because he probably thinks his phone's a pancake, okay? He probably can't even use it. All right, next up, Fireball. Bomb Tower. Bomb Tower is one skelly. The tower is completely useless here, okay? It's meaningless. The bomb is meaningless. We're just talking about the ability of one skelly, and it's basically the bomber, so mid-ladder. Goblin Hut. I didn't say Spear Gob Hut this time. I said Gob Hut. Okay. Gob Hut is also free wins. Arguably, I think it's actually even trapped in Goblin Stadium, and the more I think about it, because they're all going to be fighting over the phone, trying to make something happen when they can't. And I would say the same thing about the Goblin Gang, okay? The more goblins you have, I think the less your chances of climbing out of Goblin Stadium get, okay? It's in the name, okay? That's where they belong. That sounds racially charged, but I did mean it that way. Okay, Giant. Giant is unfortunately going to be a free win. The Giant is a good soul, okay? I love him, but his hands are simply too big to use a mouse or a phone effectively, and for that reason, he'll constantly misplay. He's going to be accidentally dropping the Mega Knight at the bridge, play one, as soon as he has enough elixir, just by accident, and so he'll be trapped as a free win forever, and probably not climb very high. Next up, we have the Wizard. The Wizard's a solid dude. I feel like the Wizard easily gets into Ultimate Champion, okay? The Fireball is not really helpful in this situation. However, I think you could even argue that he makes it into esports ready. Just barely, though. I feel like he's a low-tier esports player, right? He seems like he's very competitive, but always has a good spirit about him, so I think he sits fine there. Inferno Tower, let's assume the beam can, you know what I mean, and use the phone, right? Let's assume that it doesn't fry the phone instantly, because it'll only do a little damage to the phone at a time. So if it just barely taps the screen every time it needs to, it probably won't damage the phone really at all. So we can assume it can maybe play Clash just a little bit. And with that said, I think it probably winds up being in free win, because it's a tower and it can barely touch the phone. It can't ever like hover or something. The moment it tries to hover a spell, right, it's gonna cook the phone and it's gonna need a new one. And frankly, I don't know about you, but I can't afford, you know, buying a new iPhone I would never use an iPhone, first of all. If you use an iPhone, you're disgusting, okay? And I hate you. But I would never buy a new Android phone like every week to play Clash, because I keep frying it because I'm trying to hover my arrows on the Goblin Barrel. So that alone will hold it back. Next up, we have the Rocket. The Rocket, I mean, okay, Pump. Also, like what? Okay, and the Barb Hut. The Barb Hut. The Barb Hut is very similar to the Spear Gobs, but I find the Barbs are probably more well equipped to play Clash. This, I think, almost could be insane, right? This is almost, I think this is Ultimate Champions here. Actually, I'm going esports ready. Okay, let me explain. I feel like that feels like it's coming out of left field. But imagine a house full of barbarians where all they do all day long is grind Clash together. There's gotta be one with like 2 more brain cells than the other ones who can coach them, and they'll basically be their own esports team. The Barb esports team. It's like having, well, FaZe Clan died. It's like having, I don't know, what are esports? CLG. CLG is an esports team still, right? Spaceship gaming, whatever. You know what I mean, okay? It's like having one of those. Mirror. Oh, I didn't know you could see through. That's kind of neat. It's transparent. Mirror. Okay, let's assume Mirror is playing me, right? Firmly 10K trophies. Now, if we assume Mirror is mirroring other people, I mean, we have the potential to mirror Muhammad Light and be the best in the world. So obviously esports ready, okay? We just have to get the mirror in front of the right person, which I don't think would be too hard to do. Rage. Rage is going to be basically a free win, okay? Let me explain why. People who get tilted get farmed, right? That's a fact of life. If you get tilted, you're gonna get farmed every single day. Now, the rage spell is gonna make you angry, and therefore you're not gonna have a good control over your emotions, and you're gonna clash out, right, and get farmed. So free win. Skeleton army. Too many cooks in the kitchen. You're firmly staying mid ladder, okay? You're never gonna be able to climb because there's simply too many guys and they're children, right? Children can be good at video games, but often they're not very good. I remember being stuck on like games that would be really easy now, but were really hard back then when I was a kid. So I don't see the skelly army getting very far. Okay, Goblin Barrel. Goblin Barrel is like basically free win, I think. I think it's the same as having some goblins, okay? All goblins are getting farmed in Clash. Next up, we have Baby Dragon. I do think Baby Dragon could use a phone, if not, certainly a mouse. Now, would the Baby Dragon be good at Clash, though? So we've passed the first bar, right, of can you even play the game? Yes. Would you be any good? I don't get the vibe that Baby Dragon's escaping mid ladder, okay? I just don't think that Baby Dragon's really going to be all about that. I think it's going to be a very casual player of the game, okay? And that's going to keep you trapped in mid ladder, unfortunately. Freeze. There's a lot of ways we can interpret freeze in this situation, right? Are we freezing our opponent? Are we freezing ourselves? Are we freezing the opponent's Wi-Fi? Are we freezing our own Wi-Fi? And because there's so many ways to interpret it, and frankly, I don't really see how it could be useful unless it's like breaking the time-space barrier. I think it's going to stay trapped in Goblin Stadium. I don't think you would ever be playing Clash and think, oh, let me freeze time for me alone. Let me freeze myself and my phone so I can win a Clash game. That's never happening. Witch. I just read a comment that said that Witch is like undead and not even alive anymore, but like is alive, but not really. She's like a zombie almost, and she's got skeleton kids. So listen, 10K trophies. Okay, I know some single moms who are in 10K trophies. I don't know if that's true. Okay, I know some people who are women and in 10K trophies. I don't know if they're single moms, but I don't know. Now I feel like my reasoning is irrelevant. Anyway, 10K trophies. Don't bug me about it. The Prince. The Prince. The Prince is making it to Ultimate Champion. Okay, I feel like even though he's a little bit arrogant, right, and kind of gives me those vibes, I still feel like he has a lot of the many same qualities as the Knight. He probably has a ton of money to blow on this game. He's easily making it to Ultimate Champion simply through pay to win and grinding it out, okay? Easy. Balloon. Again, the balloon is not really helpful in playing Clash. It's just a bomber. It's basically another berry, so mid-ladder at best. Giant Skelly. Okay, Giant Skelly is like the Giant, but even worse. The Giant Skelly can't use a phone. It can only use a mouse, which would maybe be easier than using a phone if you have giant hands, but oops. Overall, Giant Skelly's not playing the game well. Expo. Let's assume the Expo could touch the screen with the little point of the ballista arrow and play Clash. In that case, mid-ladder player, listen, you people who play Expo, right? And you think you're God's gift to Clash Royale because you play a cycle deck, you play a skillful deck, and then you get farmed and stay in mid-ladder forever. You're not good at the game, bro. Okay, it's not the deck, it's you. You're not good. I could get on Expo, cycle, and farm you any day of the week. Get good, okay? Lots of you Expo players are trapped in mid-ladder for a reason, and it's because you're bad, all right? Next up, we have P.E.K.K.A. Mama P.E.K.K.A. Now, Mama P.E.K.K.A. has many of the problems that the Giant has and the P.E.K.K.A. has. I don't think Mama P.E.K.K.A. even really has interest in playing Clash, frankly. I think she would be forced to occasionally and would never want to play, okay? She'd be trapped in Goblin Stadium. Golem. Sneaky Golem. Now, Golem definitely cannot use a phone, okay? But he could probably use a computer, maybe, just like the Giants. And I feel like having giant hands is going to kind of keep you from playing well. However, the Golem has a part, an aspect to his character that I think firmly puts him in mid-ladder. And I think he would simply play some nasty shit like E-Barb's Rage at the Bridge, right? First play every game. That's the kind of deck he would play because he's a sneaky Golem player. And he would just climb simply through cheese, right? He'd climb because he'd cheese. Royal Giant used to be a really hated archetype, right? And now I feel like not so much. I feel like Royal Giant takes some skill to use, and overall, I don't just say that because I play Royal Giant. Listen, I'll play whatever to climb in this game, okay? The game's not fair. You shouldn't treat it like it is. I think the Royal Giant easily makes it to 10K trophies. I think he's a decent player. Okay, 3 Musketeers. This is esports ready. If one Musketeer was getting to esports, this is basically having another Space Station Gaming or CLG or whatever esports team exists. Okay, we've got 3 of them. They're going to be the goated 3. Okay, I could see them taking over the game completely, right? Next up, Dark Prince. Dark Prince is definitely Ultimate Champion. Listen, if the Prince is getting there, the Dark Prince is getting there and probably doing better than the Prince, okay? I think that's just how it works. They have money. They can play. They can pay to win. Okay, Poison. Killing yourself is never going to make you better at Clash. However, it will allow you to escape the eternal torment that this game has placed upon you. So, S tier. You're not gonna be playing esports, but thankfully you'll be free of having to ever play Clash again, and that's truly a gift I think we all could wish for. Next up, we have the Princess. Princess is going to be 10K trophies. I don't feel like she'll be as good as the Princes, but I'm not trying to be sexist, okay? I don't think that, I'm not coming down to that. I just don't think she's going to care nearly as much about Clash. I've tried to get several of my women friends, my girlfriend, into Clash, and they get into it for a little bit and they play and they just kind of fall off. I do know there's some women in my clan who are like playing Clash consistently, but I just don't think there's something about the Clash aesthetic or gameplay that really just, I think, puts a lot of women off from the game for some reason. And I don't know what that is necessarily. I can't pinpoint it, but I feel like that it's just not a very women-friendly game. Maybe it's the toxicity too. It's a really toxic game. I don't know. We're going to go with the Ice Wiz next. The Ice Wiz is cold, cunning, and easily could be esports ready, okay? I see bro crushing it in esports. Truthfully, I think he absolutely can crush it in esports. I don't know what it is about him. I just feel like he's got that dog in him. Now, on to the next, the Fire Spirit. All spirits, okay, are going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium. Listen, every tier list, I feel like I do the spirits dirty, but it's just when you kill yourself immediately, there's not a lot of upward momentum you can experience in life, okay? That's a lesson to be learned from this channel. If you're going to kill yourself, you're not going to get very far in life. So I feel like the spirits, they just all say trapped in Goblin Stadium. Clone. Okay, again, if you're cloning me, 10K trophies easily. If I had more money, I could be an Ultimate Champion, okay? If I could level my deck up and not have to face level 16 Mega Knights with 2 Evos and 2 heroes in the deck when I've got no heroes in my deck, okay? And frankly, terrible evos. I'm not even playing a meta deck, okay? I could get an ultimate champion, I promise. But if you clone Muhammad Light, I mean, you can be the best in the world. So, okay, Furnace. Furnace is probably not capable of using a phone. He would melt any kind of mouse or keyboard he touched, so trapped in Goblin Stadium. Unfortunately, if you are made of fire, it's just going to be difficult to do things that require you not to burn stuff, so sorry about you. The guards are more disciplined than the regular skellies and easily make it to Ultimate Champion, okay? These are the goats of the skellies, right? These are the best skellies the world has to offer, so I feel like they have to at least be able to get to Ultimate Champion. Next up, we have the Miner. The Miner is a goofy guy, right? The Miner is a goofy guy. I want to put him in 10K trophies, but I feel like he's the kind of guy to grind really hard, you know? I don't know. There's something about him that just makes me feel like he's got that dog in him a little bit too, like the Ice Wiz. Now, he's not going to be one of the best players in the world, but I could see him playing the game consistently enough to get the Ultimate Champion. I mean, when you're sitting in like a hole in the ground all day, what else are you going to do besides play Clash? Okay, Sparky probably can't use a phone, can't use a computer, would probably blow anything up that they tried to, you know, interact with in that way. So probably trapped in Goblin Stadium. I mean, if we're being generous, free win, but I don't think we need to be generous on this one. Lava Hound has 7 children inside of her that she has to take care of, and frankly, I think that's going to take all priorities over playing Clash. I do think she could probably play Clash okay, you know, I think she could get out of Goblin Stadium, but she's going to be a free win anytime. I mean, half the time, she's probably going to have to abandon her matches simply because she's got to care for one of her little rotten kids. Okay, next up, the Bowler. The Bowler is not the most intelligent of us, and that's okay. We still love him. He has a big rock. The big rock is useless here. I guess he could prop his phone up. It's like a giant pop socket in a way. So I'm going to say mid-ladder. I think the Bowler can make it to mid-ladder. Look, in a way, I did call all mid-ladder players stupid just now, but that's just what it is, okay? Get better. The Log. The Log is sentient. It has no hands. So could it like bend over and touch the phone? Maybe. It's never getting out of Goblin Stadium. And if it does, it's free win at best. Okay, we'll do at best free win. The Lumberjack. The Lumberjack is gonna stay mid-ladder forever. Okay, it's in his very nature. He's a mid-ladder card in my opinion. Okay. He's cheesy, right? The Rage, you rage the Lumberjack too. You put the Lumberjack balloon at the bridge with a freeze. It's just cheesy. He's not used in any real decks that take a lot of skill to play, in my opinion. He's just a cheesy guy, and he'll cheese his way through mid-ladder, and maybe someday, by the grace of cheese, he'll make it to 10K trophies, but for the most part, he's staying trapped in mid-ladder. Okay, Ice Golem. Ice Golem can probably use a phone or a mouse, but it's probably a free win. I know you're thinking like, what, Ice Golem's used in 2.6, so obviously he's very skillful and should be put in a skillful tier. Well, I just don't think he's got it in him, okay? I don't think he cares about Clash that much, right? Okay, Mega Minion. Mega Minion is the servant of humanity, but the dad of all servants of humanity, easily making it to Ultimate Champion, okay? The Mega Minion is a solid dude, and if you're still using Mega Minion now in any deck, frankly, you're pretty cracked at the game, I think, because he's just not a good card anymore. He's been nerfed into the ground. Inferno Dragon. Inferno Dragon is going to be mid-ladder? I don't know. I feel like the Inferno Dragon has some like a cheese factor to the like similar to the Lumberjack in a way. I just don't get a vibe that the Inferno Dragon is anything but goofy. So I'm going to say free win. I think I farmed the Inferno Dragon on the daily. Okay, Graveyard. A bunch of skeletons is going to be mid-ladder. Okay, too many cooks in the kitchen. We've already been over this. E-Barbs. E-Barbs are the definition of a mid-ladder card. Now, we could be saying, okay, we're not really judging the cards on where they are in the game, so maybe you could say 10K trophies, but listen, dude, they've got bigger and better things to worry about. They're too rambunctious. They are elite compared to the regular barbs, so maybe we can put them at least in the same category. I think two elite barbs are worth 5 barbs, okay, in skill and Clash, right? They're probably not going to be that good at the game. They just don't have it in them. They don't care. Next up, we have Tornado. I mean, what is a tornado going to do on Clash Royale other than like destroy your home and your life and everything else around you? The E-Wiz. If the E-Wiz could not electrocute his phone, I feel like he easily makes it to Ultimate Champion, okay? He's a very smart guy. I get the vibe like he's a little crazy, but a little smart. He'd probably get obsessive about Clash, but that would be his downfall, and that would forever keep him in Ultimate Champion, and he could never really graduate into esports, right? So I think that's where he stays. Next up, let's do Dark Goggins. Dark Goggins is a goblin, so again, probably a free win. But I feel like the Dark Goggins has got a little bit more cunning than the rest of the goblins. He just strikes me as a smarter dude. He tends to get more value in the game, and I'm going to equate that to mid-ladder at best. Now, Battle Ram. 2 barbs. The Battle Ram is useless, okay? If they could find it in their barbarian simple minds to put the Battle Ram down to even play Clash to begin with, I don't think they'd be very good. Listen, 2 barbs are not very good. At best, free win. Okay, I farm them any day of the week. Executioner is probably an ultimate champion player. Executioner is a solid guy, all right? But I don't feel like he has the determination, the drive that it would take to get into esports, okay? He probably is pretty good at the game and happy with that, you know? He's got other things he cares about in life, and as we all should, unless you really love Clash, I guess. I don't know. Bats. Bats don't have hands, really. They can use a phone. They could probably use a mouse. It would probably be like you could play 1 or 2 of them at a time even. Probably play 2 bats at the same time, operating the phone together. I'm going to say Trapped in Goblin Stadium. I don't know if the bats really have the intelligence to even play Clash well. When I look at the rest of these things, like, are bats ever beating Goblin Gang? Probably not, but maybe. Goblin Gang, I feel like, would just be horrible at Clash, so maybe free win. I don't know. I think that's fine for now. The Bandit. The Bandit is probably pretty decent at Clash. I would put her easily at 10k trophies, okay? The Bandits in themselves. Let's go ahead and find the Boss Bandit as well. I think we can talk about these 2 together. I think they're both cunning. The Boss Bandit is probably ultimate champion, especially because she's just got the bags, right? I mean, like money bags, okay? Hold on. She's got the money to pay to win to even get into Ultimate Champion. The Bandit probably has less money, but I feel like both of them would be skillful players. I just get the vibe that if you're going to be a cunning criminal, you probably are pretty good at Clash, right? Okay, Night Witch. The Night Witch is... The bats are not helpful, right? But I feel like the Night Witch is, like, solid. I feel like she's locked in, easily making it to 10k trophies. Actually, maybe mid-ladder. I have less faith in the Night Witch than I do the regular Witch. Well, I'm going to swap these 2, actually. I think it's the other way around. I think the Witch is getting stuck in mid-ladder because she's got other things she needs to take care of, whereas the Night Witch can go pretty hard on Clash, okay? Next up, we're going to do Skelly Barrel. Skelly Barrel is an interesting card because I don't think that... I think 5 skeletons or so. However, it's 6, 9, 12. I don't know how many it is. It's probably not too many to play the game, but I feel like it belongs in mid-ladder. Okay, next up, Flying Machine. I almost forgot what this thing is called. The Flying Machine. Now, I'm getting mixed reports by you guys, okay? Some of you say that the Master Builder is in the Flying Machine. Some of you say he just built the Flying Machine. He's not actually in it. Instead, it's a goblin that pilots it. So now I don't really know. If it's a goblin that pilots it, it's absolutely a free win. Either way, probably don't have time to be playing Clash while you're piloting a helicopter thing. So probably a free win. Okay. Cannon Cart. Cannon Cart has no way to interact with a phone or a mouse or anything, so trapped in Goblin Stadium. The Mega Knight. Unfortunately, the Mega Knight is going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium forever. And I hate to say that, but there's just no... The Mega Knight is too afraid to take off his big mega hands to ever play, you know, play with his actual hands. So maybe in private he could play, but I feel like his insecurities and his general... down about himself, his low self-esteem will keep him trapped in Goblin Stadium forever. Maybe free win. We can be generous to the Mega Knight, and you know, he's suffered enough in life. Everybody hates him already. We can give him the free win. Okay, now Zappies. Zappies are probably able to use a phone, I would assume, because they're not going to fry the phone like Sparky would, but maybe they would. Actually, Zappies are probably trapped in Goblin Stadium. Let's be real. Barrel. The barrel is useless, and frankly, if you were rolling around like, you know, spinning around, it would be pretty difficult to even play Clash. So I think you're probably a free win. I think you could get out of Goblin Stadium because it's not that hard to probably, like, I have to think, like, if I was doing this, you know, if I was doing that like 24/7 while playing Clash, I feel like I could probably play Clash, but I just wouldn't be very good. So I think free win. Now the Hunter. The Hunter's a solid guy, but he kind of strikes me as like Jinxie's dad, right? Where like he just doesn't really give a fuck about Clash all that much. He'll play, but like he's not going to know all the strats. He's going to drop a Golem Mega Knight push and think he's the GOAT because sometimes he rolls scrub. So I think he's forever trapped in mid ladder. Royal Ghost probably can interact with a phone based on the fact that he can become a physical and interact with the world. But he's old. He doesn't have the reaction time required to be an excellent player. So esports is out. Ultimate Champion is also probably difficult for him to achieve. I would say we could argue 10K trophies are mid ladder. He's booming out pretty hard, so I'm going to put him in mid ladder, okay? Magic Archer. Magic Archer is like the Royal Ghost, but is actually good at the game, okay? That's what I think. I think he's still booming out, kind of. You know, Magic Archer's old, but he's got like this cunning about him, this intelligence that I feel like really puts him into the 10K trophies easily. Okay, next up, Rascals. Now, Rascals are probably really good at Clash. I don't know what it is. I just get the vibe that the Rascals are really good at Clash. First of all, you have 2 children, so they're going to be like good at video games in general, kind of. I don't think that they're like as young as, I put another child in here somewhere very low on the list because I was like, oh, kids aren't that good at the game or something. But I feel like the Rascals are a little bit older. They've seen a lot, okay? They're criminals, right? And then on top of that, you have the big rascal, the guy who's also probably just, I don't know, you know, they seem like they got that shit locked in. I easily see them being up here with Boss Bandit. Okay, Snowball. Getting really cold does not make it easier to play Clash. Trust me, I know. Next up, we have Royal Recruits. Royal Recruits give me Ultimate Champion vibes. I think that they could potentially be an esports tier, truthfully. I'm going to put them there, okay? They are a little goofy, right? But again, you have 6 guys who are all going to be locked in on Clash. They're going to have military discipline, okay? I feel like it makes sense that they could very easily become professional players. 1 or 2 of them, right? They have a roster or whatever. They're probably not the best in the world. They probably get soloed easily by 3 Musketeers, but I feel like they could be up there. Next up, we have Piggies. Pigs can't play Clash. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they actually cannot play Clash. And in fact, they'd probably try to eat the phone. So they're going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium. The Giant Goblin and his little spear goblins. These are going to be absolutely a free win. Okay. I think the Giant, well, actually, I think probably trapped in Goblin Stadium. Okay, listen, if I'm putting Goblin Gang in here, Giant Gob's got to go here as well. His hands are too big to even play Clash. He could pass his phone back to the little ones on his back, but they're too, it's not going to work, okay? Next up, we have the E-Drag. If the E-Drag could not electrocute a phone, I feel like it could get to mid-ladder. I feel like it's kind of like a baby dragon, you know? It probably gets to mid-ladder. Next up, we have Ram Rider. I think Ram Rider's probably a lot better at Clash than the Hog Rider, which makes me kind of want to move Hog Rider down. I think we can go ahead and put the Ram Rider in Ultimate Champion and the Hog Rider in 10K trophies, okay? I do think the Hog Rider has the resilience to never get tilted. However, he's also maybe not locked in enough to really get there. Whereas I feel like the Ram Rider kind of has both the resilience and the locked-inness to really climb into Ultimate Champion. Okay. Wall breakers. I mean, listen, we've already talked about how ending your own life really makes it hard to get ahead in the world, okay? So unfortunately, the wall breakers are going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium. RIP. Earthquake. An earthquake makes everything harder, okay? If we had to personify the earthquake into a person, I still don't think they get out of Goblin Stadium. They just don't have the vibes for it. Maybe they get trapped in mid-ladder, but listen, the spells are not going to be, okay, I don't know. Anyway, Diddy Cage. Diddy Cage is free wins all day long, okay? I farm the Diddy Cage, free wins all day long. He is too big and brutish. He does not care about Clash, okay? He's just playing to have fun, and he doesn't mind losing, okay? I think that's the vibe he gives off. All right, we're almost done, so let's run through these. We have the Fisherman. The Fisherman is a solid dude. I get the vibe that he's easily making it to 10K trophies. He kind of gives me the similar vibes to the Magic Archer, right? Where he like is good at things that he puts effort into, and he's kind of intelligent. And I don't know. I just get the vibe that he would play all the time while he's fishing and get good at the game. Okay, next up, Egom, the pedophile, the diddler, the ultimate diddler. Now, does the E-Golem have any chance of making it out of Goblin Stadium? I don't know how well Elixir, assuming that's what the Goblin is, the E-Golem is made of, which I think he is, as Elixir, has any ability to interact with a phone. Probably not. You probably goop up the mouse. I don't think he's making it out, okay? I don't think he's making it out. I don't think he can even play the game. Battle Healer. The battle healer is definitely trapped in mid ladder and will be for all eternity unless she spends a lot of money or plays for a really long time. Okay, she gives me soccer mom vibes really hard. So I just think she's going to be playing the game as your average woman, just playing it forever and trapped in mid ladder, as most people are trapped in mid ladder. I mean, if you're an average player of this game, you are trapped in mid ladder, and that's just the unfortunate reality. Okay, if you look at the charts of people by arena, it's pretty sad. Most people are trapped in mid ladder, but I don't blame you because the game is pay to win and nobody wants to drop money on this godforsaken game. Okay, Firecracker. Firecracker is easily making it to 10k trophies. Okay, she's a little more cunning, a little smarter, she's playing with the pyrotechnics. She's got a badass nature about her. I don't think she's some god at the game or anything, but I think she can absolutely make it to 10k easy. Okay, next up we have the Royal Delivery. I hate this card. Okay, I prefer not to play against this card every time I play the game. Now, if 6 Royal recruits are making it to esports territory, then 1 is probably making it to Ultimate Champion. I feel like he's got the drive, he's got the power, he stays hungry, he devours. Now, the Skelly Drags. The Skelly Drags, I feel like, are going to probably be free wins if they ever make it out of Goblin Stadium to begin with. They don't have the same tactile ability as a regular dragon to play on a phone or a computer, and excuse me, for that reason, I think they're just going to have a much tougher time. They kind of strike me as twins that wouldn't really get along either. I don't think that they'd constantly be fighting for who gets to play Clash. Next up, we have the E-Giant. The E-Giant is evil. Certainly evil. I think we can all agree. E-Giant is very evil. Now, does that evil nature stop him from being good at Clash? I don't know. He would zap everything around him a lot, which would not be good. Okay, that'd probably make it pretty hard to use a phone, probably to the point of frying the phone, but it's really only if it does damage to him, so maybe free win, okay? I think maybe mid ladder, okay? Here's what I think happens with the E-Giant, right? He's playing his phone, he's climbing, he's doing good, and then one day he accidentally drops his phone on his foot, and because it does a little bit of damage to him, it stubs his toe or whatever, boom, it zaps the phone, fries it, and then he's done. His Clash career is over, okay? Mother Witch, booming out hard, has no idea how to even work a phone. Is too busy looking at AI memes on Facebook to ever even open Clash, trapped in Goblin Stadium forever. Goblin Drill, listen, if a Goblin Gang wasn't making it, the Goblin Drill is certainly not making it. I mean, maybe you could argue that they get into the free win category simply because they have a lot of time sitting in the drill while they're drilling underground to play Clash, so I guess we could argue that, but then their connection's going to get cut out all the time because they're underground, so free win at best. Golden Knight, firmly a mid-ladder dude, okay? He's a nice guy, he's a decent dude, he's playing Clash, he's showing up every day, but he's your average player, right? He's no God's gift to Clash Royale, so he's staying stuck in mid-ladder. Archer Queen. I could see Archer Queen is definitely getting to 10k trophies, okay? She's locked in, all right? She's 100% locked in. Archer Queen immediately made me think of some of the women in my clan. When I saw her, I was like, okay, these are the people, these are the types of women that are getting to 10k trophies no matter what, okay? I don't know what it is. She just gives me that vibe. Locked in. Next up, we have Skelly King. This is the type of dude who probably doesn't care about Clash at all, really. He is a king, so he has money to pay to win, so I think that puts him in mid-ladder. I think he really wouldn't care about Clash. He just doesn't strike me as the guy. He's not the type of guy. There's a lot of people in my clan that the Skelly King reminds me of, just like the Archer Queen, where I look at him and I immediately think there's some dudes in my clan who are just like the Skelly King guy, who are not going to be playing Clash very seriously, and they're going to lose us clan wars all the time and get kicked. All right, that's Skelly King. Mighty Miner. Mighty Miner's booming out hard. Let's be real. He gives off boomer energy for sure. He's definitely Unk status. Now, can he escape mid-ladder? Probably not, right? He also kind of strikes me as, you know, a jinxie dad type where he's dropping Mega Knight Golem at the bridge thinking he's crushing people because sometimes that works. So, I don't know. Maybe you could say he's like a more solid guy with integrity, but I still, even if he's playing a better deck that requires some skill, I don't think he's making it out of mid-ladder. The Phoenix, I don't think the Phoenix can really use or hold a phone. The feathers probably make things a lot more difficult than having little stubby dragon toes or hands or whatever. So probably a free win if they can ever get out of Goblin Stadium to begin with. Probably trapped in Goblin Stadium, frankly. The Monk. The Monk is wise. He's old. His ability doesn't help him play Clash at all. He's booming out hard. he might be the oldest card besides the Royal Ghost. He's a couple bad years away from being the Royal Ghost. So I'm gonna say probably a free win, unfortunately. I don't think he'd ever get tilted or anything, but come on, you're gonna tell me this guy is good at Clash? Really? I don't think so. Okay, Little Prince. Little Prince is a fucking shithead mid-ladder player, 100%. No doubt about it, okay? Listen, I don't even feel like I need to explain this one, but I will. I feel like the Little Prince is absolutely whipping out his credit card, his dad's credit card, and he's playing some stupid over-leveled bullshit, hyper bait nonsense, and just cruising through mid-ladder. He'll probably get to 10K trophies, not through skill, simply through pay to win. Disgusting. Hate him, okay? And he's not good. He just makes it to 10K trophies, okay? He's not good at the game, though. Don't make any mistake. Void, blowing up your phone and yourself is not going to help anything. Goblin Demolisher. Goblin Demolisher. I've heard the goblins get dumber as they get older. He looks pretty old. Probably a free win. I mean, if he can manage to not blow up his phone, he can probably make it out of Goblin Stadium with a couple good games, but no farther than that. Goblin Curse. Turning yourself into a goblin can only make you worse at Clash Royale. So if you do this, you're going to be trapped in Goblin Stadium, if not a free win at best. Now, Goblin Machine. Goblin Machine is probably cracked at Clash. Let's be real. Easily Ultimate Champion. Easily Ultimate Champion. In fact, I would go as far as to say esports ready. Now, he has hands. Huge bonus in this tier list here. Having hands that can operate a phone, a cellular device, is a big bonus. On top of that, he's very young. He's a child goblin, so he's going to be hyper intelligent. Okay, so I see him. He's crushing esports easily. All right. Next up, we have Suspicious Bush. Now, I don't really know anything about the goblins that pop out of the bush, right? Excuse me. Free win, easy. Goblins are free wins. Goblinstein. Goblinstein is... I feel like the doctor is really old. He gives off old guy vibes, but maybe he's young because he's doing crazy experiments, so he's smart. I'm not really sure. There's two of them. The Goblinstein himself is absolutely a free win in Clash. So I think that alone, we can go and safely put him in free win. Rune Giant. Rune Giant is a mid-ladder. She's your average player. She's just going to be playing the game. She's a mom, okay? She's got other things to worry about than playing Clash all day 24/7 to really grind and get good. So easily mid-ladder player. Berserky, however, is a menace, okay? Berserky is a menace. She's going to be playing her sticky, nasty, syrup-covered iPad 24/7 grind and Clash and still be mid-ladder, though, because she's a kid, okay? You can't fault her. She's doing her best. She's better than her mom, all right? But she's still a kid. She's not going to get that high in Clash. Okay, next up, we have Spirit Empress. Spirit Empress, I feel like it's easily 10K, probably Ultimate Champion. I feel like she's really intelligent. She's got this vibe about her that she's just like no nonsense in a way that she could, if she really wanted to lock in and make it happen, she could easily get to Ultimate Champion. So I feel like she's gonna be an Ultimate Champion, no problem. And I've tried to kind of keep the concentration here relatively accurate. You know, I didn't want to put too many people in esports ready, too many people in Ultimate Champion, because fractions of the player base are in either of those. Tiny percentiles of the player base are making it up here. So I think that she's probably one of the best people playing the game, though, out of our list here. And finally, Vines. What do you want me to say? Okay, it's Vines. Maybe I should just get the spells out of the way like halfway through the video and be like, listen, the spells in this situation are not going to be very good. But all right, here's our complete tier list. Let me zoom out so you can see it all in its glory. Right here. Here is our tier list of every Clash card rated by how good they would be at playing Clash Royale. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. Thank you so much for 1K subs. We're going to the moon very soon. So get on board the rocket ship before we take off. If you have more ideas for tier lists, please drop them in the comments. I do read them, trying to answer more of them. If I see a great idea, I will do it. So drop them in the comments. It doesn't even have to be about Clash, okay? Drop your ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.